Hercules, one of the manliest characters you can play in Smite. You want to know how to play him? Well, he's super easy, but like with Yamoja, sometimes you can end up messing up your teammates with his frequent displacements, so using your abilities optimally, and not like the giant meathead that you are, will lead to higher places. Hercules has a simple kit, so let's get started. His passive is Apotheosis, and honestly, it's far more wordy than it needs to be. It comes in two parts. The first is that when you're damaged by enemy gods, he gains strength. This stacks 3 times, so at level 1, you can get 9 strength, and at level 20, you get 39 strength total. The second part of his passive is a lot more fun, and it's one of the new additions Hercules got going into Smite 2. Every time Hercules hits an ability, he gets a stack of Apotheosis, with the exception of your ultimate, which grants you 2 stacks. When you hit 4 stacks, Hercules grows in size, reduces his cooldowns by 2 seconds, gains more strength, protections, and his basic attacks cleave for the duration of the buff. It lasts 10 seconds, but at level 20, it lasts for a whopping 30 seconds. Being an Apotheosis makes you feel extremely powerful, and it's very fun to play with. Now that his most complicated ability is out of the way, the video is about to get a lot more simple. Hercules 1 is Driving Strike. Hercules dashes forward, damaging and stunning enemies hit, and pushing them with Hercules to the end of the dash location. That's it. As you get better with his ability as well, you can use his dash specifically to push people against walls. When you're team fighting, you absolutely do not want to use this skill to push enemy gods to freedom, which I see Hercules players do on the regular. Instead, hold your Driving Strike until you hit his bread and butter combo, or until you get into a position where you can push the enemy to your team or into a wall so your team does not have to chase down someone you made harder to kill. Remember, Hercules is a tank first and foremost. While you can dish out some serious damage, you're mostly there to obstruct enemy carries and enable your team to follow up on your setups. Hercules' 2 is Earthbreaker. This creates Hercules' classic 2-1 combo. Earthbreaker smashes a rift into the ground that deals damage and travels in a line. At the end of the line, there's a knock-up square that will bring the enemies exactly in front of Hercules. If you walk forward while they're in midair, you're guaranteed to be behind them when they land, which lets you push them towards your team, into your tower, and so on. Learning how to do this combo and hit it consistently is what makes you a better Hercules player than most. Hercules' 3 is Mitigate Wounds, and is probably the reason why you'd end up losing to him forgetting to buy Antiheal. Mitigate Wounds immediately allows Hercules to heal himself for a small amount, buffing himself and gaining attack speed and protection for 4 seconds. At the end of those 4 seconds, Hercules heals for 20 to 44% of the damage he's taken over those 4 seconds. This final burst of healing can easily heal upwards of 500 to 800 healing, and without anti-heal, it makes Hercules annoyingly difficult to kill. Regardless, you should be buying anti-heal on at least mid laners these days, as Divine Ruin costs 2300 gold and has crazy stats. Finally, Hercules' ultimate is Excavate. A criminally boring name for such a fun skill, Hercules rips a massive boulder out of the ground and throws it at a target location, knocking enemies up into the air where it lands and dealing a silly amount of damage. The base damage on his ultimate at max level deals 760 damage, but it also has a 105% strength scaling, meaning that the strength you get from your passive and Apotheosis greatly affects the damage from his ultimate. Overall, Hercules is a god with a ton of displacements. You control the battlefield and find picks for your team, and you're an incredibly tough to kill opponent. If this sounds like the type of fantasy you want to fulfill in the battleground, then he's perfect for you. Here's an example build that I threw together, but you should also learn to go to different websites and research your builds. Check out smitesource.com, tracker.gg/smite2, and smite2.live in order to find some builds from players far better than myself if you don't have success with my fun little builds. Also, here's a funny combo that you can do to pull someone far, far further than you should. If you get good at doing this, doing it in a live game would make your team lose their mind. Good luck, thanks for watching, subscribe please for more Smite content, and have a good day.